The morning light flooded through the tall windows of the Corner Bean Cafe, turning the Saturday crowd into golden silhouettes. Maya Chen gripped her small white bakery box tighter, her other hand steadying the crutch that had become part of her body 3 years ago. The prosthetic leg hidden beneath her jeans felt heavier today, like it knew this was supposed to be a special day. She pushed through the door, the threshold catching her crutch for just a moment, making her stumble slightly. No one turned to look. No one ever did. The cafe hummed with the comfortable chaos of weekend regulars. Laptops open, newspapers spread, couples laughing over shared pastries. Every single table was full. Maya's chest tightened with familiar disappointment. Of course it would be full. The young barista looked up from the espresso machine, his apologetic expression already forming before she even reached the counter. "I'm so sorry, miss. We're completely packed right now. Maybe 20 minutes?" His eyes flickered down to her crutch, then quickly away. That look, she knew that look. Part pity, part discomfort, all avoidance. Maya glanced down at the white box in her hand. Inside sat a single chocolate cupcake with vanilla frosting. One candle. 26 years old today, and this was her celebration. A cupcake she'd eat alone in her apartment, probably while crying through some movie she'd already seen. That's okay. Thank you anyway. Her voice came out steadier than she felt. She turned toward the door, already planning the rest of her lonely day. Maybe she'd light the candle. Maybe she wouldn't. What was the point of making a wish when no one was there to sing? "Excuse me, miss?" The voice was warm, deep, gentle. Maya paused, her hand already on the door handle. A black man with kind eyes and a smile that reached them stood up from a corner table. Beside him, a little girl with wild curls and the brightest eyes Maya had ever seen bounced in her seat. "Our table's got plenty of room. You're more than welcome to join us if you'd like." Before Maya could process the offer, the little girl shot up from her chair, waving enthusiastically. "Yeah, and we have the best spot in the whole place. You can see the street from here, and sometimes dogs walk by, and once we saw a man juggling oranges." The girl's excitement was infectious, completely unself-conscious. No pity in those eyes, just pure, uncomplicated kindness. "I don't want to intrude on your morning," Maya heard herself say, even as something in her chest cracked open just a little. The man shook his head, his smile never wavering. "You wouldn't be intruding at all. Honestly, my daughter's been talking my ear off about zoo elephants for the past 20 minutes. I could use some adult conversation." The little girl gasped, McCoffin did. "Dad, I'm very interesting." "You are, sweetheart. That's the problem." He was already pulling out a chair, his movements easy and natural. Not making a show of helping, just making space. Maya felt her eyes sting. When was the last time someone had simply made space for her? Not out of obligation or awkward politeness, but genuine human kindness. She made her way through the crowded cafe, navigating between chairs with practiced care. Her crutch tapped against the hardwood floor, a rhythm she'd grown used to, but never quite accepted. The little girl watched her approach with open curiosity, the kind only children possess. No judgment, no discomfort, just interest. "I'm Matthew," the man said, as Maya settled into the chair. "And this tornado is my daughter, Star." The little girl grinned, revealing a gap where her front tooth should be. "I'm 7 3/4. The 3/4 are very important. And I like your hair. It's so curly and pretty. Mine just goes everywhere when it's humid. I'm Maya, and thank you, Star." "That's a beautiful name." She set the white box carefully on the table, suddenly self-conscious about it. Matthew's eyes landed on it, then moved back to her face. No questions, no prying. Just acceptance. "What's in your box?" Star asked, leaning forward with the shameless curiosity of childhood. "Is it something yummy?" "We got muffins. Mine's chocolate chip. It's really, really good." You should try the chocolate chip ones if you're hungry. Maya's hand moved to rest on top of the box. Her throat felt tight. This wasn't how she'd planned this. She'd wanted quiet. She'd wanted invisible. But something about this child's open face and this man's gentle presence made her want to be seen. Just this once. Just for today. She slowly opened the lid. Inside sat her cupcake, the single candle pressed into the frosting like a tiny monument to loneliness. Oh, Star breathed, her eyes going wide. Is someone having a birthday? Maya's smile felt fragile on her face. Yeah, me, actually. Today's my birthday. The words hung in the air. Matthew's expression shifted, something understanding and sad moving through his eyes. He saw it. He saw exactly what this meant. A woman alone in a crowded cafe with a single cupcake and one unlit candle. But Star, beautiful in her 7-year-old innocence, saw only celebration. Your birthday? She practically shouted, making several nearby customers turn their heads. Dad, it's her birthday. We have to sing. She was already looking around frantically. Do you have matches? We need fire. We have to light the candle. Star, we really don't have to. Maya started, but Matthew was already catching the eye of the barista, who grinned and grabbed a long lighter from behind the counter. The young man approached their table, his earlier discomfort replaced by genuine warmth. Birthday? He asked. Maya could only nod, her hand pressed to her mouth, somewhere between laughing and crying. The barista lit the candle with a flourish. The small flame flickered in the morning light, casting tiny dancing shadows across the white frosting. Star didn't wait for permission. She launched immediately into song, her voice clear and enthusiastic and completely, wonderfully off-key. Happy birthday to you. Matthew joined in, his deeper voice blending with his daughter's. Around them, other customers began to notice. A woman at the next table started singing, then the couple by the window. Within seconds, half the cafe had joined in, their voices rising together in this spontaneous celebration for a complete stranger. Happy birthday, dear Maya. Maya sat frozen, tears streaming freely down her face now. She couldn't stop them, didn't want to. The candle flickered in front of her, but it was the voices surrounding her that made her chest feel like it might burst. All these people, all these strangers, singing to her, seeing her. Not her disability, not her tragedy, just her. Just Maya on her birthday. Happy birthday to you. The final note rang out, followed by applause and cheers. Maya pressed both hands to her face, laughing through her tears. Make a wish, Star urged, bouncing in her seat with barely contained excitement. It has to be a good one. Birthday wishes are the most powerful kind. Maya closed her eyes. 3 years ago, she would have wished for her family back, would have wished to undo that terrible night, the red light they never saw, the truck that shattered everything. But standing in a hospital room, learning that everyone she loved was gone and her leg was destroyed, she'd stopped believing in wishes. She'd stopped believing in much of anything. But right now, surrounded by singing strangers and this impossibly kind father and daughter, she made a different wish. She wished for more days like this, more moments of unexpected grace, more proof that the world could still be good. She opened her eyes, leaned forward, and blew out the candle. The cafe erupted again in applause. That was the best happy birthday song ever, Star declared with absolute certainty. Right? Wasn't it amazing? Maya wiped her eyes, laughing. It was perfect, was absolutely perfect. She looked at Matthew, then at Star, then back at Matthew. I can't believe you just... Thank you, both of you. I didn't expect anything like this. Nobody should be alone on their birthday, Star said matter-of-factly, as if this were the most obvious truth in the universe. Right, Dad? That's just a rule. Matthew's smile was soft, his eyes understanding. Right. That's definitely a rule. Can we share the cake? Star asked. You can't eat a whole cupcake by yourself on your birthday. That's sad. You should share it with your friends. Maya blinked, fresh tears threatening. Are we friends now? Star rolled her eyes in that dramatic way children do. Obviously, we sang to you. That makes us friends. That's how it works. Matthew pulled out his phone. Actually, before we demolish this cupcake, let me get a picture of the birthday girl. Maya started to protest, suddenly aware of her tear-stained face and messy hair. But Star was already repositioning the cupcake. Every birthday needs pictures. My mom takes like 100 pictures on my birthday. She says memories are important. Matthew snapped a few photos, then showed them to Maya. In the images, she sat bathed in golden sunlight, her dark curls catching the light, her smile genuine and unguarded. Her white skin glowed warm in the morning sun. She looked happy. Actually, truly happy. These are really nice, she said softly, surprised by the woman she saw in the photos. When had she last looked like that? I'll text them to you if you want, Matthew offered. They exchanged numbers while Star divided the cupcake into 3 pieces, insisting Maya take the smallest one since it was her birthday and she was the guest. The conversation flowed easily after that. Star carried most of it, asking Maya about her favorite colors and animals, and whether she preferred chocolate or vanilla ice cream. Simple questions that made Maya feel wonderfully, beautifully normal. So, Matthew said as they finished the last crumbs of cupcake, do you have any other birthday plans for today? Maya's smile faltered just slightly. Not really. I was just going to go home. Maybe watch a movie. Star gasped like this was the saddest thing she'd ever heard. That's so boring. Dad, we should do something. Can Maya come to the park with us? We're going to feed the ducks, remember? Matthew glanced at Maya, his expression carefully neutral, giving her space to say no without pressure. You're welcome to join us, but no obligation. I know you probably have things to do, but Maya found herself nodding before she could overthink it. I'd love to, if you're sure I wouldn't be intruding. You keep saying that word, Matthew said with a gentle smile. I don't think it means what you think it means. Star squealed with delight. Princess Bride reference. That's one of my favorite movies. This is the best birthday ever, and it's not even my birthday. They gathered their things to leave, Star chattering about the ducks and their personalities. Maya carefully folded the candle from her cupcake into a napkin, tucking it into her pocket. A small talisman of this unexpected morning. This gift she'd been given by 2 strangers who'd decided she was worth their Saturday. As they walked out together into the bright sunshine, Star between them, Maya felt something shift in her chest. Something that had been frozen for 3 years, starting to thaw. Matthew held the door open, making sure she had plenty of room to navigate with her crutch. Not hovering, not pitying, just present. Just kind. The park stretched out before them when they arrived, a patchwork of green grass and walking paths dotted with families enjoying the warm day. Star immediately took off toward the pond, then stopped and ran back. Maya, can you run? I mean, is it okay to ask that? Maya smiled at the child's directness. I can't run, sweetheart, but I can walk pretty fast when I need to. Okay then, I'll walk fast too, so we stay together. Star adjusted her pace to match Maya's without another word, without making it into a thing. Such simple kindness from such a small person. It made Maya's throat tight again. They reached the pond's edge, where ducks paddled lazily in the afternoon sun. Star began tossing breadcrumbs with enthusiastic abandon, narrating each duck's personality. That one's definitely the leader. See how the others follow him. I'm calling him Captain. And that one with the funny walk is Professor Quackers because he looks wise. Maya laughed, lowering herself onto a nearby bench with relief. Her leg always ached more than she wanted to admit. Matthew sat beside her, close enough that their shoulders almost touched. Thank you again, Maya said quietly. for this morning, for including me. I know you didn't have to do any of that." Matthew turned to look at her fully. "You've said thank you about 6 times now. You can stop." Maya was quiet for a moment, watching Star chase the ducks with pure joy. "I haven't had people sing to me on my birthday in a long time. 3 years, actually. Since the accident that did this." She gestured to her leg. "My family was in the car with me. My parents. My younger brother, Lucas. I was driving." The words came easier than she expected. A truck ran a red light. Head-on collision. "I woke up in the hospital 2 weeks later. They told me about my family first, then about my leg. Honestly, the leg didn't seem important after that." Matthew didn't rush to fill the silence with empty condolences. He just listened, his presence steady beside her. "I'm not telling you this to make you feel bad," Maya continued, "or to be heavy on what's supposed to be a nice day. I just wanted you to know why this morning mattered so much. For 3 years, I've spent my birthday alone because I couldn't stand the pity in people's eyes when they found out. But Star didn't pity me. She just wanted to sing." "Star doesn't really do pity," Matthew said softly. "She just does people. She's remarkable." He paused, then offered his own truth. "I'm a single dad. Her mom and I divorced when Star was 4. We're better as friends than we ever were as partners. Star spends every other weekend with her mom, plus holidays. They're super close." "That must have been hard. The divorce, I mean?" Matthew nodded. "It was, but not in the way most people think. We didn't have some big dramatic falling out. We just weren't right for each other romantically. Lumen's an artist. She needs spontaneity and creative freedom. I'm a high school English teacher who color codes his lesson plans. We made each other miserable, trying to be something we weren't. But we both love Star more than anything, so we figured it out. That's really mature of you both." Maya watched Star, who was now lying on her stomach at the pond's edge, studying the ducks with intense scientific focus. "Star seems really happy. You must be doing something right." "I hope so. I worry constantly that I'm screwing her up somehow. But then she does something like today, insisting we sing to a stranger because nobody should be alone on their birthday, and I think maybe she's going to be okay." Matthew's smile was warm. "Maybe we both are." They spent another hour at the park, conversation swinging between serious and silly. Star ran out of breadcrumbs and collapsed dramatically on the grass. "Someone needs lunch and probably a nap," Matthew said. "I don't need a nap," Star protested, yawning. "I'm not a baby." Maya laughed. 7 3/4. Way too grown up for naps." Star nodded seriously. "Just resting my eyes." Walking back to the parking lot, Star took Maya's hand without hesitation. "Will you come next Saturday? We always do fun things. Right, Dad?" Matthew smiled gently. "You're welcome any time, but no pressure." Maya nodded before thinking. "I'd love to. I wouldn't be intruding. You're part of our Saturday group now, right, Dad?" Matthew met Maya's eyes, warmth passing between them. Definitely decided. They exchanged numbers. Star insisted on a hug. "Happy birthday, Maya," she whispered. Maya smiled through tears. "Me too, sweetheart. Me too." Driving home, Maya felt hope she hadn't in years. That night, she looked at the photos Matthew sent Star's bright smile. Their heads together over desert. She saved one as her background and texted Matthew, "Thank you for the best birthday in years. See you Saturday." His reply, "We'll be counting the days. Sleep well, birthday girl." Maya fell asleep holding her birthday candle, dreaming of Saturdays, smiles, and belonging. Sometimes love begins simply with kindness, an invitation, or just for words that change everything.